Robbie Williams Rewind.
Welcome to Robbie Williams Rewind. We are the champions. I'm Matt.
And I'm Lucy.
And along with help from special guest fans, we take you on an in-depth rewind through the solo career of singer, songwriter and entertainer Robbie Williams.
So today we've got a very special guest, Tom Longworth, joining us, the guitarist that's been with Robbie for over 10 years. But before we launch into our interview with him, we'll just do a quick news update and also a plea for help for something for our next episode.
Yeah.
Or potentially our next episode. We're not really sure.
We'll work it out.
So first of all, obviously Robbie has announced his Hyde Park gig on the 6th of July.
Oh, yes. We all got told to save the date for July. And then it was revealed, wasn't it?
Yep. So everyone kept asking us about Gold Circle versus Diamond as well. We've bought Gold Circle. I know that a lot of people are worried that the plan might change, but it didn't for Take That last year or Bruce Springsteen. So hopefully Hyde Park will actually stick to the existing seating plan and Gold Circle is the correct tickets to buy to be near the front, but time will tell.
I checked the website yesterday. I think that plan will stay pretty firm. The way that it's set up, I can't see them changing it.
Yeah, it's just that last time for Robbie they did change it like a couple of weeks before, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't think it will this time.
No, better not, because there'll be a lot of our very.
I think the way it's set up, there's nothing to change really. So I think it, I think it'll be all right.
Hopefully, and then obviously Teddy and Ida shared some really cute photos of them at the Emmy Awards. Well, the press shared them on the red carpet. Now that Teddy has been revealed to the world, I guess they're taking her to things that they couldn't before, which is cute.
Yeah.
And she looked so much like Robbie in the photos, I thought.
Yes, she does.
Especially her her grin.
Cheeky.
Yeah. And we had a funny encounter this morning just before recording this. Matt, do you want to share?
Oh yeah, this is a very important update that we must share with everyone. So our Tesco online shopping delivery arrived this morning, as it does most Sunday mornings, and the driver was looking through into the house, being a bit nosy actually, and we record in our lounge and you can see straight through from the front door into the lounge and he could see the microphones set up and he said, "Oh, I saw your microphones. Are you recording some music?" And I explained that we were recording the podcast and doing this update that we're recording right now. And then he said, "Oh, yeah, I was at Saunton Sands when Angels was being filmed, and we were walking along eating our chips, and they were filming Angels." It's just like really random. And then he said, "Ask him what he did with the cows." You could hear this from the kitchen, couldn't you? And I was like, "What?" He said, "They had loads of cows there, and they were there for the shoot, and they weren't in the video. So obviously they were going to do something with the cows. So there we go, Lucy. We're going to ask Vaughan now when we get round to speaking to him.
Hopefully.
What were the cows about? So there you go. Angels and cows." Random.
Yeah, that was very random.
Important for you all to know that, though.
Yeah. And then the big bit of news for us is that we're doing an episode for Robbie's 50th birthday where we're going to count down the fans' favourite Robbie songs, the top 50 for his 50th. So we really need your help voting for your favourite Robbie songs. And you can vote for 20. And if you go to our website, Matt, would you want to share the link?
Yeah, if you go to RobbieWilliamsRewind.com and then click on the menu and you'll see 50 for 50, vote now. Go to that page and then you'll get a link to the poll and then go from there.
Yeah, so you've got until, I think it's the 13th of January, about 7 p.m. to vote. So a lot of people have said that it's very hard to choose 20 because they've got too many favourites. So if you need some time to think about it, you've got until the 13th of January. So that gives us a month to collate the results and record our episode.
Yeah, and it's actually really hard. I hadn't done it for a while. Lucy was cajoling me to do it, and I think we were out in a pub somewhere, and I was kind of picking through the 300.
Yeah.
Is it 300?
I think it's 359 in total.
So Lucy keyed in all 300 into the poll. We're so committed and dedicated on the podcast. And just a tip, it's very hard to go through 300 and pick the ones that you really like. So I had to go through them once, and then I had to go through them again. And it tells you once you've chosen your 20. So I went through them several times and finally got there. But it is hard.
Yeah. I tried not to think about it too much, but we'll cover that in that episode, how we chose our favourites.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
But just a tip for people that are choosing, you can kind of go back through and reselect and make sure you've got your right 20.
Yeah. You can delete an option and then select another one.
Yeah. So if you could help us do that for Rob's birthday episode, that would be great.
Yeah. That'll be out in February. Who knows if we're releasing anything in January? Time will tell. We'll see what comes up.
I'm quite busy in January.
Yeah, you are.
I'm appearing on stage.
Yes.
As Scrooge in A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Another thing that I do alongside the podcast. If you want to come and see me, let me know.
So there you go. So that's our news update.
It is. Yeah. There we go. Lots more to come, I think, in the new year. It's going to be a big year next year.
Yeah.
We've got the film coming. He's going to be in Hyde Park.
Well, hopefully there's going to be an album.
We hope. Well, all sources are pointing towards an album next year.
Yeah.
We know they've been in the studio. So,
yeah.
So from Lucy and I, we wish you all a very happy Christmas.
Yep, Merry Christmas.
And a great new year. And we'll see you in 2024.
Yeah. And enjoy the interview with Tom.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
Today, we're very excited to bring you another very special guest, someone who's been Robbie's guitarist since 2012. Welcome, Tom Longworth.
Hello, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
So before we get into discussing your time with Robbie, let's rewind all the way back to the beginning of your musical career. So how did things start in music for you?
Oh, so do you know anything as yet? Or have you got any? I'm really interested to see how you get your facts. And if they're right
I
or
do.
wrong.
Well, yeah, I've
Okay,
got some
let's go.
facts.
Yes. Okay.
Well, you previously worked with Charlotte Church, with Natalie Imbruglia.
Ooh,
Take that.
take that?
Yeah.
Not really,
You said
but
you did.
sort of. I said I did. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I did tour. I was in a sport band who supported Take That.
Oh, okay, right.
Right.
Yeah. Charlotte Church, I worked with her for about a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Natalie Imbruglia, I worked with. I was in her band from 2007 to 2010, I think.
Ah, quite a while then. Okay.
Yeah, she was busy 2007 to 2007, and then then we did bits and bobs.
Right.
But, there was like a big period where we did a lot, and then there was a lot of corporate events, and not too much with it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Up until 2010.
I think you got that gig through Karl, working with Natalie.
Yeah, I did, yeah, because then you could take it back to. How far do you go back on these shows?
We go back to childhood, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was born.
A couple of
Well,
hours.
basically, the first music thing was I started guitar when I was 11. Got my first. I wanted an electric guitar, and I was really upset I got an acoustic, but stuck with it. And I was like just dreaming of getting electric. And my first electric was like 2000. How old am I? 13.
Okay.
Right.
Getting old now, sorry, my brain's not working. 1993, first electric guitar, and that I still use that with Rob, so
Oh, wow.
that's kind of a nice story. And then my first bands were around 13, 14, 15. And then, started on the Birmingham sort of music scene, playing in different bands and working my way up and getting myself known. Joined a band called Alaska. That was my first real kind of proper serious, like, okay, how old was I then? Maybe like 18, 19 maybe. The band was doing well, it was a good band, known on the local scene, and we had a few different managers. Who managed us? Martin O'Shea managed us for a bit. We went over to New York with the band in 2001. Atlantic Records liked the band and took us over. Did some showcases there, which was brilliant. Then that was 2001. Then our drummer left and Karl, Brazil, joined the band.
Oh.
He was in the band for about a year or two.
Yeah.
Sort of 2001, 2002, I think. So like 20 years ago.
Is that
And-
you just knew him already, or did he audition? Or
Because we're actually from the same place
yeah,
in Birmingham.
right.
I didn't really know him that well. I knew of him.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of his friends and different things. We didn't really know each other at that point. Daryl, the lead singer in Alaska, he knew Karl and then got Karl and he played with us. And then that's how I got to sort of start working with Karl. From that point then, Karl then was also already doing session stuff. He'd been doing session stuff since he was like 15.
Yeah.
He was kind of born into that sort of just playing.
Yeah,
So he was working with us in breaks and when he had time off, and it was kind of a bit, Carl's never here and he's always doing this, and we're trying to get gigs in. So we had a few drummers come in. We actually had Michael Lee play in our band. Karl got him in to help out because we had some stuff with record labels. We had to sort of go and play. Karl wasn't there. So Michael Lee, if you know him, he was the drummer. He played with the Cult, Page and Plant,
Okay.
and Thin Lizzy, and loads
right.
of
Yeah.
different cool like rock bands.
yeah.
He passed away probably 10 years ago now, maybe. Really sad, but he was an amazing drummer. Check him out. And then from that point then, so that's when I knew Karl. That's about 2002. Then I had a period where that band split up and I wasn't really doing that much with the music. Karl was always trying to kind of get me away and do different things. I'm like, I had a job, as well as doing original stuff. He's like, come and do some session stuff. So I can't just leave my job and go and do like one little thing. And then the one day it's getting to this point, the band had completely split up by that point, 2007. And Karl was like, I've got a job with Natalie and Brulia come up trying to do it. And I was literally thinking about leaving my job anyway at that point. It was just the perfect time to go, I'm going to go into the session world, because it wasn't really sort of my thing. I was more into the original band stuff and wasn't really a sort of muso session sort of
Right.
head, more like just rock and roll sort of
Yeah.
bands and things. But that kind of suited me, and I went and did that and then started to work in that sort of world. And kind of had a few years doing that into about 2010. So that's kind of a bit of a history lineage of the bands.
Right.
But actually, going back to this interesting point, I did think of this morning. My band Alaska, I said we had different managers. The first manager, I think Ian Allen managed us. Martin O'Shea, who was like a Liverpool manager, managed a lot of sort of bands there and had a pop act. Who was it? Not Sugar Babes, the ones from Liverpool, but
Atomic Kitten.
Atomic Kitten, I
Yeah.
think he managed them. So we suited him. Then Tim, we got a really nice break. We got spotted by Chris Abbott. I want to see if you know who these people are. And then his brother Tim Abbott.
Yeah, I know who they are.
You know who Tim Abbott is?
Yeah.
He managed my band.
Right.
Who else did he manage then?
Oasis.
No?
No, Robbie.
Yeah.
Yes. He was friends with Oasis.
So he worked for Creation Records.
That's it. Yeah.
He was the marketing man, and he came up with all the campaigns of putting Definitely Maybe in like football stadiums, stuff
Right.
like that. So
Right, yeah.
because when they came out to, they kind of marketed it at that sort of working man, sort of football fan.
Yeah.
And that's how it sort of grew into that thing. So he was behind the marketing sort of stuff. At Creation, he's also on one of their covers. He's the fella on the front of Cigarettes and Alcohol, I think. Yeah, and there's some people on a bed.
Yeah.
And they got champagne.
Isn't it Definitely Maybe? Or he's
No,
on the
that's
cover?
that's all. That's the band, Definitely Maybe, on the front.
Is it? Oh, sorry. Okay.
But on the CD single of Cigarettes and Alcohol, I think
Yeah.
it's that one. They're on a bed drinking champagne. It
Yeah.
looks just really cool.
Yeah.
Tim's in that.
Right.
But he managed. So he was working with Creation. Went to Glastonbury '96. Is
Yeah.
that when Robin?
He went 95 when he.
95. Okay.
Yeah.
95. Tim, Rob was with Oasis then, wasn't he? With
Yeah.
the red Adidas and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Blonde hair.
Yeah.
Met Tim, and that's when Tim managed him for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they had a massive legal thing and
Yeah.
all the rest of it. I'm sure you all know about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he then, like a few years later, 2002, I bump into him and have kind of a similar situation. But it was all, champagne and promises and
Right.
all this stuff. And they were great. They were working with like Sony, I think, at the time. They had a few little bands, and it was brilliant. They did some nice stuff for us, but put us in the studio and did some gigs. Then nothing really came of it because I think they lost the funding with Sony or something. But yeah, that's the little weird
Yeah.
tie-in
Strange.
with the Robbie stuff.
Yeah.
And so, what were your influences and sort of musical tastes when you were growing up? I heard you say you're more
Like
into
rock
rock,
and roll.
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of thing. We were joking about this yesterday with my band, but I'm a big Genesis fan.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a review, and it said that one of our songs, the chorus sounded like Genesis, Phil Collins, and the lead singer went mad in our band. He was like,
He blamed you, did he?
Phil Collins? And I was just like, yeah, but I love Phil Collins.
That's a compliment. Yeah.
It's like a really big compliment. But yeah, basically, I like good music. That's it.
Right.
But I grew up on like, my dad used to listen to a lot of stuff in the car, like George Harrison, like the Cloud 9 record, all that kind of 80s sort of stuff, Dire Straits, Beatles, Eric Clapton, all that kind of stuff. But then I got heavily into Pink Floyd. I think it was maybe when I was about 18. So for that kind of guitarist sort of thing, it was like Pink Floyd and then the Chili Peppers. But growing up, it was like Michael Jackson, Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses. Then I kind of went into Nirvana.
Yeah.
Really, really heavily into Nirvana. So it's like 13, 14 then. And then I went off the rails a little bit and got into Jamiroquai and acid jazz. But that kind of funk stuff is a big sort of part of my musical sort of makeup.
Yeah.
All those different influences. So I kind of, if I listen to my own guitar playing, I go, oh, it's Dave Gilmour mixed with John Frusciante. Then I was massively into Blur as well, so it's kind of a bit Graham Coxon, like that mad scientist, inventive sort of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, a bit of a mix of different things. But yeah, it's kind of mainly the rock indie sort of area, the little bit of acid jazz thrown in. Yeah. But I listen to anything. I'll sit and listen to classical music, if it's good. And
And also, you're left-handed, aren't you? How did that affect playing the guitar?
How did that happen? How did it affect it? Well, it does. The main thing that it affects is that you can't just turn up at a gig or someone's house and sort of pick up a guitar and play it. Go to a music shop and there's all these amazing guitars and there's like one left-handed guitar that's just like, all right.
Yeah.
So it's really, really difficult to get guitars. So whenever I sort of see one, I sort of like buy it. And you think, oh, okay, well, I haven't got that many guitars, but I was kind of just whenever you see one, you sort of try and get it. But yeah, apart from that, nothing really affects it.
No.
Not really. No. Yeah. It's kind of good on stage as well because you can do that whole Beatles thing with the one person going one way and the other. Yeah. So it's nice to be. I stand
Jerry,
on the Well, with Rob, I'm on stage left, which is the wrong side, but we did try me going on Gaz's side, so it would be going like this.
Yeah.
But Gaz did after it's like he likes his things to be. No, that's the way it is. That's how I like it.
You've got your home spot on the stage.
But he was loving. Gaz was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. Went over there, and after I think it was, I can't remember now. how long we did that for. It wasn't very long.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I like on the other side. So it's fine. But it's because it's a big stage.
Yeah.
It's not. If smaller stages, it's great to do that. So you're not hitting the singer in the head.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
And when did you start writing and producing music?
It's a good question. I started writing music when I was sort of 14, really. But just kind of little bits and bobs of music that I would give to the bands I was sort of playing in. I remember writing songs in my first band when I was 13, and really, I think I've got a cassette still. You listen to them and they're awful, you know, but it's practice sort of thing. But then, it's interesting. I was always in bands with songwriters. So the lead singer writes the songs,
right.
And they're a really good songwriter. I would do bits and bobs of music here and there and co-write sort of stuff. And then, about 2007, when I started doing a bit more session stuff, I just didn't write at all. And then I was doing all the session stuff and kind of focusing on that, concentrating on that quite a lot. And then I got to a point, I was playing with Rob, and I think it was around 12, 13, 14, 15, 17. 2000, when was Heavy Entertainment Show, South America?
South America, 2018, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's around 2017. I kind of started to be kind of like, there's something missing. Like, what is it? I'm not enjoying music so much. I was just, I kind of lost a bit of something inside me. I was going, what is it? What is it? What is it? And then I suddenly realised it was because I wasn't creating anything. Mm-hmm. I was playing, that side of things was cool, but I wasn't creating. I realised that massive part of me is just that being able to create stuff and create music. So I was like, okay, that's what's missing. I started getting back into it, but I'd always, because back in the day we were using 4 tracks and going in studios, like analog stuff a lot.
Yeah.
I was never really a big fan of using computers and things like that, and I'd never learnt Logic and how to use the computer. And I was like, I've got to do that. So I just went into it. I bought Logic and just started messing around and trying to figure out how to use it and getting advice. Jerry Meehan showed me a lot on how to use Logic and stuff.
Okay.
It's like, do this, do this. Just mess around. How do you do this, Joe? Do this. I watched a few YouTube videos and then just started doing it, and then started to create little things. So, this is quite fun. You can do this, you can do that. And started getting back into the creation sort of side of music, and I was like, wow, this is brilliant. And it was in like South America. That's when one of the first songs I did, getting back into it was a Christmas idea for Rob.
Right.
So that's sort of, I did have a listen to that recently.
Yeah.
And I look and I go, oh my gosh, why did I do that? What's this? All over the place. The wrong tempo or whatever. It's just like, so that was one of the first things I laid down, like a demo for Rob.
Wow.
Back getting into the creation. They haven't stopped then. I've just been writing now every day now.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
love it. Yeah.
Brilliant. So you also previously played with Paul Beard, is that right?
Paul, yeah. So Paul was, where did I meet Paul? He was playing with James Blunt with Karl. I think he'd done a few things before that as well, different acts. But that ended up in that band together. And then Karl was the MD for Natalie Imbruglia, and the first band he put together, Paul came in for a few shows. So Paul came in for a few of the Natalie Imbruglia shows.
Right.
And that was like the first time I'd sort of played with Paul and really got to know him.
Yeah.
Well, I'd met him before, but that was when I got to know him, playing in the same band. Yeah. And then obviously we ended up in the Rob's band together.
Yeah.
We heard that you had a pretty unique audition with Rob, didn't you?
Yeah, Paul had joined Rob's band. He was MD in Rob's band. This was when Rob had a big break.
Yeah.
2006 maybe to 2009.
Yeah, and then he didn't really tour again.
Gone and did his thing. grew the beard, whatever he did, that kind of cool stuff. And it's like, right, okay, ready to come back. He had changed things up a bit. He had Paul Beard, I think they'd met in LA and stuff. And Karl, they came in. I think Chris Sharrock had gone off with Oasis or something by that point. So Beardy Karl come in. And Rob was coming back with a new approach, and they, whoever it was, decided wanted to get a new guitar player in. And they put a short list together, and I was on that.
Right. Is that because of Karl or because of Paul, or both of them?
They'd both say it was each other, but
because of his talent.
Karl would say it was me, Beardy would say it was him. I think it was both of them.
Right.
But there was obviously a big discussions going on. Different guitar players.
Yeah.
Right, well, there's this guy. Yeah. I know a couple of people who are on the list, but I won't say who they were.
No.
Because I can't remember. So Rob was just, I think they were at Rob's house or something. He's like milling around. This is the story. I obviously wasn't there.
No.
And he's like, well, who's this and who's that? And Karl was like, I used to be in a band with him back in the days, just, a bit of a rock and roller, was, always getting drunk and causing chaos, which I guess I did then. And he was like, okay, that sounds cool. What's he look like? And they went online and just typed my name. And back then, pretty much the only photo that came up was one of me with, I didn't have a top on, the tattoos out, just like sweating in some pub in Birmingham somewhere.
Right.
And he was like, get him in, he looks cool. So kind of one of those fatey things of just oh, he looks cool, we'll try him first.
Yeah.
But, there was obviously other things involved in that. And so, I got a phone call. I was kind of going through a bit of a rough time at that point in my sort of personal life. There was things going on. And I was feeling quite down with the music thing. I was like, nothing's really happening. And then, I got a call from Paul Beard, saying, really want you to come out to audition for Rob's band, and really great if you could come out to LA and do. I'm like, what? I was just like this. I just went Norman, kind of like like this kind of weird tingle thing. I was like, this is mad. I was like, yeah. And I put the phone down and I started crying. I was just like, oh my God, because I was literally going to just kind of give up music type thing. At that point, I was just like, do you know what? I'm not making any money, and it's just like, I wasn't songwriting then and all that. It was just a bit of a low point in the whole sort of journey, which people never tend to talk about a lot of it. But there's obviously moments where you down here, and then I was just all of a sudden, oh my gosh. So off I went to LA, and I didn't really think too much about meeting Rob because I was just kind of concentrating on the music, and it was so easy to learn it because you knew the songs already. It was it was like learning the function set. 'Cause it was like, well, I know that one. I know that one. If it's a new record, it's always like, oh, what's this? I don't know, how does that go? But they're all in your head from just culture, popular culture. So it was easy. I just learned the stuff, and I kind of felt like I was learning a function gig because I've played a couple of those songs at weddings maybe in the past. Then I sort of, the way I guess dealt with it was just not really think about the gravity of, just like, I'm not going to, I was just going to do a gig, and got on the plane and turned up at Rob's house. He was living on Mulholland at the time, just off of Mulholland somewhere. And he lived opposite Slash and I don't know, Brian Wilson or something, and Tom Jones, and this kind of stuff was all on the road. It was like Stella Street, you know what I mean? So I just rock up from Birmingham, all right. And I walk in, and Rob's in his kitchen, and I suddenly went, oh, hello. Then funny, we actually wore the same kind of clothes. He was wearing this grey. He was Farrell was his nice Farrell grey tracksuit, right? Very posh, fancy stuff. I had a Primark one on, just like Primark grey, and he was like, "Oh, we should have took clove notes." But straight away, it's like really, really cool. Made me feel really comfortable. And that's a really nice thing. Every time we stayed at Rob's house, he was like, he doesn't drink, Rob, he hasn't drank for a long, long time. And it's like, do you want a beer? There's, a few beers in the fridge. You're like, if I didn't drink, I would not have beers in the fridge.
No, yeah.
So, it's just like really cool, really relaxed. And I was really surprised at how down to earth and, like not normal, but just just normal lad. And you're like, yeah, sound cool. And then he goes on stage and just this completely, I don't know how he does it. But yeah, it just really made me feel comfortable. Because it was before he had the kids, so it was like just Rob and Ida, so it was like, we got a few spare rooms. So we all stayed at the house and then rehearsed from there in LA, which was mental in itself.
Yeah.
Because like I was just going to this, LA studios every day to rehearse, and you're like, who's next door? Oh, it's the Red Hot Chili Peppers next door. And I'm like, you up? The Who? And I'm like, okay, that's not like my favourite band in the world.
Yeah.
So I saw him in the car in the parking lot, and I was like turned into this little boy, this little kid, and I was like, I've got to go and say hello. And I went and said hello to him, and because we're in this in this professional space, I just thought, I think they were thinking, who's this? Like, it's really nice to meet you. Oh, like this kind of fan, and they're like, so I've got me in ears, and I kind of, I'm obviously like in a band, and they're just like, this is really weird behaviour from like, and they just stared at me. And I went, anyway, see you later. Just walked off, and I was like, I didn't like that.
You didn't say I'm with Robbie Williams.
No.
You'd have regretted it if you didn't say it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure.
Yeah, well,
even though it was a bit odd.
Well, no, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't do that now.
No.
But then I was just like, this flick of just like, oh my gosh, I've got to go and say that. It was really kind of probably really uncool. No, like, I could have played it a lot better. But yeah, that was just, I was thrown into this different world. I just couldn't believe I was in LA, really,
Yeah.
doing all this stuff. And then, so we were basically rehearsing for a gig in, this is common knowledge, Cancun, for Philip Green.
Yeah.
Who we all know and love. And I think it was for his daughter's birthday. It was a joint thing, maybe her 21st and his, however old he is, 60th.
60.
Yeah. So it was a joint thing. But it was in this, he'd booked out the whole resort in Cancun. Absolutely beautiful. I've not been to anywhere as nice as that since, I don't think. It's like amazing place. The rooms were stunning. It was just ridiculous. And he'd booked like the Beach Boys to play down on the beach. I saw that in the press actually. The Beach Boys down on the beach. It's like Bruno Mars was playing, and obviously Rob, and then who else was playing? Santana maybe, and
Not sure.
Can't remember who else was actually playing. CeeLo Green was kind of big at the time.
No, he was watching.
Stevie Wonder was there to see the show.
Right.
I've got a list.
Wood and Matt Bellamy were there as well.
Yeah, so basically,
quite a lot of people there. But
there was a lot of people there. So I remember the first morning we got there, I came downstairs to breakfast. I think I was with Jerry, and I'm sat there, and Santana's on the table behind us, just there with his wife. She was the drummer. I can't remember her name. She used to play with Lenny Kravitz and stuff like that. I can't remember her name now. If you ask Karl, he'll know. But what's her name? Anyway. They're just there, and I'm just like, that's Santana, just like sat there. It's like mad. And then we go to the pool, we're like having a beer in the pool, like there's like a pool bar, you swim up to it.
Oh, right.
And like, it's just us around the bar, and then you got Bruno Mars was just in there with like his band and stuff. And it's just like, this is so bizarre. Chris Bublé, and he was playing. Not Chris Bublé.
Michael
Bublé.
Yeah.
Who's Chris Bublé?
I was thinking that.
Google him.
His brother.
Google Chris Bublé and see what comes up. It could be his brother. Michael Bublé. So anyway, the gig, we were there for like a few days before the gig. Don't know why. I think it was just coming over holiday or something. I don't know. We're there, and so the gig, my first show, this was like my audition sort of thing. It was like, okay, just do it. If you play a show, then see how we go. Mm-hmm. And then And yeah, in the audience was Chris Martin, Stevie Wonder, Ronnie Wood, Leonardo DiCaprio, Santana, your man from Muse, Matt Bellamy, then like Kate Moss, and
Goodness.
oh my gosh, it was like literally just everyone.
So were you really nervous?
Chris Martin, did I say Chris Martin? All these people, not nervous, but I was kind of quite excited. And I played the gig. I didn't really look out and see all these people. I kind of vaguely knew they were there. But actually knowing that like Matt Bellamy was there and Chris Martin and stuff, that made me play better. Like I was quite like all right with the show.
Yeah.
And what I've got. And I played really well actually. Like everyone was, that was cool. There was a lot of energy involved, and it was good. And after that, we stayed and had a few drinks. I was chatting to Matt Bellamy and stuff, and I think he was there with his wife, Kate Hudson, at the time. Is that right?
Sounds about right, I think.
And then I saw Stevie Wonder just sat there, and I'm just like, I stood at the bar next to Kate Moss. I think Jerry knows some of these people, you know. It's like, you know, so I'm stood there, and Kate Moss is here, and whoever else, and Stevie Wonder's there. And as we were leaving, that's a funny story actually. Paul Beard's like a massive Stevie fan.
Right.
He's like, I've got to say hello to Stevie. And he's with his minders, and they're like helping him out, getting up the stairs out of the venue. And Paul goes over and he goes, I'm Rob's MD. I just really love to say how much you've massive influence in my music and all the rest of it. And he gets his hand and he's like, oh yeah, that's great, man. Yeah. If you can tell Robbie that my favourite song of his is Back for Good. I Want You Back. Back for Good. That's my favourite song of his. And Paul went, yeah, I'll let him know. That was brilliant. So yeah, Stevie Wonder's favourite Robbie Williams songs is I Want You Back. I Want You Back. Back for Good.
That was fun.
That was great.
What did Rob say to that when you told him? When he told him? Oh, you haven't told him that.
No, if you're listening to this, Rob, there you go. No, I think we did. I think I did, or someone did.
Rob's version of that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, the one with the punk one.
Yeah,
I forgot about that because we'd been playing that song recently back in the set instead of The Flood.
Oh, have you? What, with the punk version though?
No,
I wish it was a punk version.
So there's a bit with the rain stick. Do you know the rain stick? Mike Kersey on rain stick. And we go into The Flood. It's like the bit of the biopic section that tells the story, but we took that out because we weren't sure people would know it wherever we were playing. It was like take that thing and put Back for Good in there. And we're playing it. I'm just like this. And after a while, I was going, this seems a bit weird. Like this. Oh, we usually do this like half slow one, and then it goes punk. And that was actually released as a B-side on Strong, was it, or something like that? Hang on, I'm trying to get my facts right.
Yeah, that might have been Let Me Entertain You.
Don't know. I have to find these facts out.
Yeah, but I prefer that version. When I'm at a Take That concert really fun, and they're doing the normal version, I get a bit bored.
Yeah, but like, that's what I mean. I'm playing that song live, going, this is a bit kind of, to sing along, but I'm like, it seems a bit plodding along. Why is that? I used to kind of like, it's because we used to go punk halfway. So,
that was really cool.
We should do that version. It'd be good.
Yeah.
The story of that is that, yes, that was my audition. That was Cancun. So that was like a standalone thing. And then, that was...
And it went well.
You're in the band?
March or May. Is that March or May? March 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says March 2012 in my notes.
There you go. That's when I joined.
Okay.
And you haven't looked back?
No. Not until now.
until now, yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So your first big gigs with Rob were at the Ballroom shows in 2012. Were they intimate enough to get you used to playing with Rob before moving on to the bigger sort of O2 style shows?
Yeah, I mean, I think those were, godsend really when you move on to that O2 thing. So those shows, they were small, and there was a bit more. But then it was still, we played the Barrowlands.
Yeah.
And then it seemed
Dublin
like
was big as well, wasn't it?
Sorry?
Dublin was a big venue as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, the Barrowlands was small. Dublin was an arena.
Yeah.
So we did the pavilions, wherever that is, Southend-on-Sea.
Southend, yeah.
Leeds Academy.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have been called that when you played it originally, but those were like the smaller venues, like 1,000, 1,500.
Yeah.
But when I walked down that stage with Rob, they seemed huge because I hadn't really done big shows ever before, really.
Oh, okay. Not even with Natalie Imbruglia.
Oh, hang on, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but only the same sort of size.
Right, okay.
Right.
Unless we did a festival.
Yeah.
We did one or two, maybe even just one festival. And there were, like we did the tent at the V festival. So it wasn't like massive.
Right.
Yeah.
I've done a few bigger ones, yeah. But with Robbie, and it was like, they still seemed like that, but that was a big show. Do you know what I mean? And I went back there recently with my own band to the Glasgow Barrowland, and I was just like, this seems tiny. It was like, it looked pretty small. And I'm like, hang on, is this the same place? Is this like the ballroom 2 or something? That's it. But it was like, then it seemed like, okay, that's a proper big crowd. 1,000, 2,000 sort of thing. It was like big. We did that, and we did the Dublin one. When I walked out to the Dublin, that was the arena. Is that where we played recently?
Yeah, it is. Same place, yeah.
Yeah.
Down by the sort of docks and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I walked out to that one, I was just like, okay, this is a bit big. That was maybe 10, 12,000 or 15.
Yeah.
Between 10 and 15, I guess. And that was like a bit, oh my goodness. Right, okay. I was like playing sort of guitar solo, looking out going, that's a lot of people. So yeah, I got a bit nervous then, but that was a nice sort of bed in to the band. And it was a smaller band as well, because we didn't have brass section then.
Oh, right, yeah.
So it was just the main sort of core 5 band with a couple of BVs. I think maybe we had the 3 BVs for that. Or maybe even just 2, I can't remember. But yeah, it was just a small band. We didn't have the brass and all the sort of bells and whistles around it. It was a bit more rock and roll. And we just went out, and I think Rob just kind of just went for it himself. He seemed like quite energised by those
really
shows.
Good. We went to the Dublin show. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favourites.
Yeah, it was quite just focused in on the band. There was no production really.
Yeah.
Just a bit of a backdrop. And just bang, here's the songs.
Yeah.
Quite raw.
Yeah, it was really
Very
good.
raw. Good.
Yeah, and then rehearsals for the O2.
Did the rehearsals go on for a while then, or?
They not massive amounts of time. I can't really remember, but maybe like 3 weeks or something, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe. But we did them at Rob's house.
Right.
In his garage. Which is like just the back, Compton Bassett.
Yeah.
It's all online, the videos of us being in the rehearsals at the back. Which was great for Rob, because he doesn't really like rehearsing so much. But I think because it was literally in his garden, he was there every day. He was just like, this is brilliant. I just walk out, go, do my thing, I can just leave when I want, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we were doing massive workouts during that as well. Has anyone ever told you, do you know anything about the exercise regimes?
Well, I remember in Dublin, Rob did about 100 press-ups or something so crazy.
Flynn mentioned about Rob dropping down and doing some press-ups or something. So we've heard a little bit about it. But tell us more.
The rehearsals were very, very... It's the healthiest we've ever been, I think. Rob. But we would go... We'd do the rehearsal in the morning. Then when it was like basically at lunchtime, we'd all go running at the back up into the hills and do this like three kings, was it called, or something? It's like basically trekking up mountains and down and all the round, then kind of coming back. So doing like this massive hour sort of workout, it was quite a lot. Then going back into rehearsals. But it was really good. I would like to do that now, though. Yeah, we were basically doing that, but it put us in in a good like mental state, and it was really good for Rob. And he felt like he had like a real nice, group of people around him, and all getting together and doing these activities and working together. And it's really nice vibes. So we did those rehearsals and then went into the O2 shows. Which is kind of daunting.
What was the O2 like? Because that was in the round as well, so it must have been a bit weird, everyone being around you. Yeah,
so I presume we rehearsed on the stage. I can't remember doing that for some reason, or where that was. But yeah, we went into the round thing, and that was crazy but really brilliant. It was like this. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
And like I just wish every gig was like that, 'cause it was really fun. But the only weird thing about it really is that, like, if you say you're in Guns N' Roses or Def Leppard or U2 or something, like everyone in the band is in the band. Like when people come to see Rob, there's a lot of people who don't really want to see me.
Yeah.
So like if Rob's over the other side and I'm over this side, people are kind of just going, can you just move? I can't see, move. And you're like, oh, they're not kind of getting the point. But, you know, so there is that bit of it. Okay, Rob's, you know, he's the act, and people want to see him, so trying to find ways of that to work.
Yeah.
Right.
For Rob, but at the same time, for us to just walk around, just standing there, wasn't good enough either. So it's like had to be a lot of energy with that. You know, whenever you're out moving around that circle, the girls were great doing their thing, and the funny thing with that, that was the first gig with the brass. For the first song, they're actually under the stage, which they loved. If you ever get to interview them, just say, your first show, you were under the stage.
Oh, that's a brilliant one.
They put you under the stage. It was for the first song, they were under the ramp.
Yeah.
Because under there was all the amps and that, so we had all the amps under there, because there wasn't any amps on stage, and the brass were under there. But they actually came out and then did these like really cool moves and walking across. There was like a bridge, and then this, and there was, I can't remember what was on each end of that. There was a piano was on one side when Guy came out. Did he do some songs?
Yeah, he did.
The other side was like a podium thing, with maybe some flames. I can't remember. But it was very, very cool.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing.
Good.
We were in this bubble for that. There was like 4 shows we did, I think, and we didn't leave that little world, because it was like quite a lot on your brain, and especially because it was televised.
Yeah.
The last show, maybe.
I think it was the middle show. Oh no, it was the last. It was the last.
I remember thinking, because that's
Saturday
a really
night.
silly idea because of Rob's voice. Thinking 3 or 4 nights and do the last one. It was like, you know, if your throat goes,
risky. Yeah.
I remember thinking, oh, maybe better to do the second. You have the rehearsal, then do the one, and then. But it was great. But that went 10 million people watched it, I think.
Oh wow!
I think that was the number I was told.
Yeah.
They're probably just lying to me. How many? 10 million or something. It was like watching this thing. So that was the one thing that you had to try and keep out of your head.
Yeah.
There was a lot like of on the shoulders. So that mental thing of just trying to keep in the zone was difficult, especially kind of really exposed on that in the round stage.
Yeah.
You felt kind of like you could, not under attack, like, but a little bit kind of like, oh my gosh, there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, that was absolutely brilliant. That was like something. Yeah, I'll never forget that. Brilliant time. And after that, obviously, we didn't have much of a break, really. We went into...
Then it was straight into the album promo and then the tour at the stadiums.
Yeah, actually, the rehearsals I was talking about was for the stadiums, not for the O2.
Oh, okay.
But I think we probably did it in the same place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking about the stadium tour. That's when we were doing all the exercise for the stadiums.
Okay.
The O2 rehearsals, I can't remember.
Okay.
I was probably too excited and I can't remember what happened.
So how did it feel when you got to the stadiums? What was that like?
That kind of felt easy then.
Yeah.
Because of the O2. That was the thing. It's like that in the round thing was just like, oh my gosh, what was that? Now all of a sudden, like, okay, we'll play some stadiums. That's so much easier. You just stand on a normal stage and just look out and play. But yeah, all those rehearsals we did for that were brilliant. Then we went into the production rehearsals. They erect the stage in a huge, massive hall thing, and I saw that stage. Just like, this is. I remember seeing some plans for it and stuff, and the idea was obviously all the heads from the artwork.
Yeah,
and that was just like, what? This is just mental.
What was it like playing on the big head with the flames coming out of it?
It was brilliant. I mean, because it goes out into the crowd, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you're just playing above this sea of people, and then there's just water came out the front, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then the flames. It was just bonkers. Like every night was just a bit different, and I'd always have Jerry behind me, like kicking me up the arse or doing something silly, and Rob. And but yeah, it was just mad. Like, it was amazing. One of the craziest, coolest things I've ever done.
Yeah.
I still look at photos now and again just to remind myself. Look at that huge head thing. There's me. And there's some flames. It's just so weird. I should watch. There is a DVD of that film.
Yeah, there is.
Tallinn. It only came out in Italy or Europe or something.
Yeah, it did.
But I got myself a copy at IE. I have that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I should watch that again for like some memories.
Yeah, brilliant tour.
But it was it was absolutely amazing, bizarre, and like just crazy stuff. And it kind of evolved where, you know, but the first few times I would have been like concentrating and getting the part right, because there was a lot of technical stuff as well, because the guitars were on stage. So obviously, for me to get up there with all the equipment, and there was like different, you know, what do you call them? Wireless pack systems and different things, and just make sure everything worked in the first few shows. And then by the end of the tour, I was just playing up there, just looking at the sky and the clouds and the sun, and just going, this is like, there was some beautiful sunsets, and it's just like, what am I doing up here? It's absolutely mental. And just looking down. Then some gigs I'd be just looking at the people and just kind of, you know, trying to catch their attention and just maybe shouting some lyrics out and just seeing the reactions back. So each gig you try and get a different view or experience. It was absolutely brilliant. And then, you know, we'd come down the stairs, and that kind of became a bit of a joke in the show, which kind of was a little bit weird. But I don't know if you saw, like, when Rob would come down the stairs, and then all the girls would come down, he'd help the girls off. Then I'd be the last one down. And he'd go, grab me and then kiss me and go, oh, sorry, sort of thing.
Yes, I forgot that. Yeah.
But I think he actually did it by accident once. He kind of got my hand and then went, oh, that's Tom. And
So
went, oh, sorry,
to
help the girls. And then he took that and made it into a big joke, and then decided to give me this big slobbery kiss after every time I come down the stairs.
No.
But he was like absolutely drenched in sweat. I was like properly like, you know, gig sweat all over. So
We'll have a clip of that in.
You have to wipe
I was
your
just
face.
absolutely covered.
Yeah,
I was like,
I'll find a clip of that. We'll add that into the video.
so I'm like, I'm trying to do the whole like bit of acting, going, you kissed me. That, oh, what's going on? But really, I'm just inside going, oh my gosh, get me a towel quick. I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, there was all that kind of stuff in there. You know, it's fun, really fun to do all that kind of stuff. And what else was in that show? There's loads of crazy moments, but it was brilliant.
Yeah.
One of the favourite ones of that was not Beerboard, Gospel, I think.
Oh, gospel, yeah.
We did that.
Like
Rob's
Gospel.
on that big head, the gold sort of podium, and then me and Jerry get on top of these speakers next to him.
Yeah.
So we're kind of going out on the side. And they weren't really designed for us to stand on. We just sort of went, I think Rob was like, I don't want to be out on my own. Can't you get on that speaker? And we're like, well, we need to ask someone, but maybe we can. So there was no sort of safety stuff. So you're sort of up there just on a speaker kind of going, okay.
Yeah.
Don't get too carried away, because you can fall off this. But yeah, I absolutely loved that. Just being up there was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool song as well. So
Yeah, I
enjoyed
love
that.
that song.
Amazing song.
Yeah.
So powerful.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then after that, Rob did his Let Me Entertain You tour in 2015 when he went to places that he didn't normally play.
Yeah. So we did Swing album.
Yeah, Swing, yeah.
Which I didn't do the tour for that.
Were you on part of the album?
No, I didn't do anything for that record particularly. But the good thing was Rob actually had like a few little kind of corporate shows going, different things. Like we did the Grand Prix in Singapore at that time.
Yeah.
And so anytime there was another show that wasn't a dedicated swing thing, I'd come out and do the shows.
That's good.
Which kind of, it was really nice actually to be able to do that, because it was a bit of a quiet time otherwise. So it was like really nice to do that, and it ended up doing a few shows around that. And then then we went into the Let Me Entertain You 2015, which was, the idea of that was just to go to places that hadn't been to. I think it was just a bit more of a stripped back version.
And you went to Australia as well with that tour.
Did we?
Yeah. Because they missed out on Take the Crown, so you went there for Let Me Entertain You.
Oh. We didn't go there for Take the Crown.
No, they were gutted about that. They still say to this day, lots of Australian fans,
yes,
that
you
they're
do.
gutted they missed that tour.
Yeah, it's difficult to keep track of all that. That's when we went to Australia. And then we went back to Australia again. Yes, that's
for
right. Yeah.
heavy
Yeah,
entertainment, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was good. There's arenas though, right?
Arenas, yeah.
Yeah, so it just kind of felt like a little bit smaller and easier to manage and just,
And was it fun playing Bohemian Rhapsody?
No.
No?
No, because the main thing was like, okay, if you have like I'd have a couple of beers, maybe like if there's a bit of a break in the show, I might have a beer, and then like towards the end of the show, maybe I'd had like 2 beers or something like this. But when you're playing Bohemian Rhapsody, like on the encore, you can't. You've just got to be. Oh God. So, but yeah, I didn't really enjoy it, but it was fun, a bit different.
Hard work.
It was hard work-ish, yeah. But I think there was about 10 people on guitar though by the end of it. So, I think it was me, Guy, Gaz, and Mark Brown all playing guitar.
Oh, right.
I think there was 4 of us playing electric.
I didn't realise Mark was.
I think so. I think they just said, just who can play guitar, let's just all make it. Because there's a lot of harmonies in that song, which Queen probably never did live particularly, because it's only Brian May. But we decided to like try and do the record harmonies a little bit.
Yeah.
So everyone was playing a different sort of melody and trying to harmonise with each other. But yeah, the majority of the times we got it right, I think.
It sounded good to me.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was good fun.
And then obviously the Heavy Entertainment Show album and tour.
Yeah.
That came in 2017. You went to Australia again and then South America.
Yeah.
What was South America like?
South America was brilliant, yeah. Really, really good. I loved it there. I don't know how many shows we did there, maybe 4. But there were like festivals there, weren't
Yeah, they were, yeah.
There was a lot of festival-y sort of ones. Yeah, they were really cool, really big shows. I think there was one that was cancelled. Was it Argentina?
Yeah, Argentina.
So we ended up having like a week off because there was already a few days either side of the gig.
Yeah.
And the gig was cancelled because there was like a really heavy flooding.
Yeah.
So we ended up like with a week in Argentina. So got to explore a bit more than maybe you would normally. But it was at that time when I'd sort of decided that I was going to start songwriting again and getting into that creative thing because, I think the Heavy Entertainment Show, we'd gone out and it was around then when I started to kind of go, I'm not enjoying this as much as I used to. Why? And maybe, a bit too much partying and that. And I was like, okay, I'm missing the creative thing. It's like I feel like I need to get back into that. And it was in South America that I started to go, right, I'm going to get back into the recording and writing. And that's when that Time for Change song started. That's when we wrote it, basically.
Right.
Well,
so you're on tour in South America?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, so that song was Karl's little... Karl picked up an acoustic guitar. It was funny because when you're writing a Christmas record, it tends to be in like summer.
Yeah.
When you're sort of doing all the work for it, or the year before, or whatever it is, isn't it? But we're in South America and everyone's talking about the Christmas record and I'm kind of like, it'd be nice to write a song, do something. And everyone was, if you've got a great Christmas song, then just put it forwards. It's one of them weird sort of records.
Yeah.
It's like, so I was like, yeah, we should write one. Let's write one. And Karl picked up a guitar and played these 3 chords and sang a little melody, which was like kind of like a sort of string sort of line. Da, 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 like this. And I was like, that's cool, right, yeah. I said, can you record that into my phone? So we recorded this little idea, a couple of little chords. And I just went back with that and then just wrote all of the music, midlay everything, and I kind of used these little melodies as a string line and then just had this like piece. It was a bit like the demo was very much like what's the one? The Pretenders. That's it, yeah. The Pretenders did that Christmas song.
Can't think of that one.
Pretenders, I think it is. I don't know. They all sound just Christmas songs. There's so many of them. So we just had this kind of like almost like late 70s sort of feel, a bit Lennon-y sort of. as opposed to the kind of more cheesier things.
Yeah.
It was quite kind of cool vibe to it. And I was like, this is nice, man. But I got that engrossed in it. I just like, that was the only thing I could focus on and concentrate on. So I just wanted to get back to my rooms, like just get a bottle of tequila. Just like, right, I can make this better. Just kept going and going and made this little demo up. Well, that sounds really great. And we got back to England, and then I was like, just every night, I was just having a couple of beers in the kitchen, listening to this song. I'd be walking the dog, listening to it, just singing, trying to get melodies. Then I came up with that melody, the and I was like, there we go, that's it. And I wrote the lyrics for it, and it was just literally Christmas repeated. Do you remember a Christmas time when all the children, Christmas time, Christmas time, Christmas time, Christmas. And everything was Christmas, and like, but that's how I wrote it, just Christmas. And then, yeah, that was kind of it. I left the verses, and I'd done a bit of a middle eight thing on it. I kind of, but, you know, I played it to Karl. I was like, yeah, this is really, really cool. Like, so Karl played it to Rob. I think it was getting quite close to the end of the record when most things were finished. It was like, oh. And then Karl was like, listen to this one. And everyone was like, what's this? This is great. And then they took it, and Rob did his thing on it and wrote the verses. I think it was Karl, Guy and Rob were all together in LA finishing off the record, and they wrote some extra bits and finished it all off. And Rob changed the lyrics, or whoever changed the lyrics, to Time for Change and all the rest of it. Yeah. And it sounded great. That's the one thing that, because you were talking about this record, weren't you?
Yeah.
I did mention this to you when I saw you there.
Because
you were getting really
got it something slightly wrong.
Well, this is the thing, because I actually read the credits and got confused myself, because in the credits it says that there's a kids' choir on there. Yeah. Which there is. But it's not where you'd think it is. So the kids' choir is at the end.
Yeah. Okay.
And I can't really hear it that much, to be honest with you. But there's a kids' choir at the end of they're doing this little thing. But the pre-chorus bit, which kind of sounds like a kids' choir, or where a kids' choir would be, singing Christmas time. Yeah. That's actually my daughter, Lottie. So, and she's credited on backing vocals.
Right.
Along with like Chloe, someone, and me, and whoever else. So she's like mixed in with the backing vocalist, but she sang that bit. But she was 3. Yeah. Yes. And so all of that track was all re-recorded from the demo. Right. In the studio with all the strings, like massive, huge string section, and Karl did the drums, and then, you know, the bass is all done. There was one little thing that I did from the demo on there. I think it might have been a mellotron that I did that was like left in there. And then Lottie's vocal for that bit. I'd basically recorded that as a demo, and I said, right, it'd be great to have a little kids choir on that Christmas time bit. Yeah. So I said, how do I do that? Just to mock it up as an idea. Yeah. So I got Lottie to sing. Well, I tried my best to get her singing. I've actually got a recording of it. I made this music lyric. Because I thought, because whenever I tell people, I don't know what you mean. So I tried to get her to sing it. And this is what she did, basically, if you listen to this.
Christmas time. I'm not finished. I like it. Christmas time. I love it. Christmas.
I think she has enough now. She just.
A candy cane and this. A Rudolph candy cane song. I have a cracker, but it's Rudolph. I don't like it.
So I'm faced with this. So I'm faced with this. That's brilliant. So I'm in the kitchen just recording. Can you just sing Christmas time? And then she does that. I'm like, right, okay, I think I could salvage some out of it. So I got to do it a few times, and then just like chopped out the little Christmas time bits and
Yeah.
like time stretched them and tuned them and whatever,
Right,
and just
yeah.
layered them up into like 6 sort
Yeah.
of parts and slightly whatever
okay.
pan them. So just create this little like
Yeah.
put some a lot of reverb on it.
Right.
You know, and then that was it. And it's
Yeah.
that kind of sounds pretty cool actually. And then when they come to mixing it, everyone was just like that. But they loved something about that, and they kept it in. I'm just like, no, don't keep that in. No. As much as I love my daughter and I want it to be on the record, it's supposed to be a kids' choir. Like, but they're like, no, we like it. So it's been kept on. And everyone's always like, what's that? What are they singing?
We couldn't understand, and we had a conversation about that on that
It makes
episode, saying,
absolute sense,
but what
yeah.
are they saying?
Come on, spread the word. Doesn't everyone hurt? Do you remember the good old days when all...
Makes sense.
Yeah,
And how
so
old was she when she was
3.
Oh.
So that's my crazy daughter in the kitchen at home. That's why. But I think it does. There's something about the way it is that's kind of
It sounds
innocent
great.
to
Yeah.
it. So it's,
Yeah, it is lovely.
It's
We
really
just
nice.
couldn't quite work out what she
And
was
then
singing.
you see there's a kids' choir on the credits, and you go, well, surely they would be a bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's what we said.
Is
yeah.
she still proud to be part of it now?
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Good.
Well, I bought her the gold disc and everything. So
Oh.
yeah, so
that's
I've got one. Which is brilliant. Because I'm like, okay, I'm on this.
Yeah.
Got a song on this record was and it was the single, which was like an extra, brilliant bonus. I was really chuffed, and
Yeah.
so I got the gold disc on the wall.
Oh, lovely.
So when I'm doing it right, and I kind of just look at it and go, right, yes, this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, as revealed on our episode with Rob, his favourite album.
Yeah.
Oh, is
That's
it?
the one he chose.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I haven't listened to Rob's episode. That's terrible.
Oh, you have to listen.
I listened to Tim.
We did the Robbie World Cup with him, didn't we?
Yeah, he chose his favourite of his own albums, and it was
Oh, really?
Christmas. Yeah.
It is a really good record, actually. There's some really good stuff on it.
Yeah.
Look, it's just there's some crazy stuff, but I love Owen Parker's like brilliant songwriter. He's in the band, plays piano and stuff, and his song "Home,"
Like that. Yeah, I have to say that's my
which
favourite.
was going to maybe be the other single and stuff. And it was like, "Home" it was a beautiful, beautiful song. I don't know what else. It's quite a long record because it's 2 sides. Isn't it? I'm trying to think what's
2 CDs.
Oh, Christmas Past, Christmas Future. It's a nice
Yeah.
concept
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, it's really clever.
This kind of Scrooge thing, Christmas Past, Christmas.
Called The Christmas Present.
That might have been my idea.
Oh,
I'm going to
really?
put that out there. That it was my idea, and then wait to see if anyone said it wasn't. But I've got a feeling I might have possibly said that.
Oh.
Unless I've just made that up.
Interesting.
Well, he said he loves it because he can put it on every year with the family, and obviously it comes back every year. And he's got lovely memories of putting on at home and decorating the Christmas tree. And he was just so joyful about talking about it, wasn't he? Really, we were surprised out of all his albums. But sort of makes sense, I think.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, when you make a record, I guess you can come out the other side with the negative connotations attached to it for whatever reason. Could be a relationship you're in at the time or anything like that, and you could sort of attach it to that music. That's what's great about music, I guess. You write. That's why I don't like writing, messing around with productions for too long, because it's like, it's like it should be a snapshot.
Right.
Like, that's it, done. But like the bands in the 70s, 60s, 70s would be like in the studio that. Just you can't get the computer and start messing around. You go and record. Someone mixes it, it's out.
Yeah.
Probably a couple of those a year. Record in a week, out, done. But now people can do whatever they want, and they just keep going and going and going, trying to make it better. And it's like, just capture it, get it. It's great, but you get all attached to it. So I think with that record for Rob, I guess he's like, in a good place with the family and all that kind of stuff. And it's the writing process. Probably enjoyed that as well.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
You've written some more songs with Rob. Do you think we might hear them on an album soon?
How do you know that?
We know lots of things.
You tell me.
Well, in the after we did the Christmas song, then, and I got the bug again. I started writing some ideas for. I think I can't remember at the time. Rob has different ideas for possible records. It's like, okay, I might do a blues record or a jazz record or a pop record or a rock. Just like thinking. So, people start writing and go, okay, what about this and this idea, and see what sort of sticks, and it might go this way or that way. And I think for a while we were doing some kind of bit more electro sort of stuff, maybe a bit more 80s-y sort of things, which maybe has fulfilled that with Lufthouse doing the electronic thing maybe. But yeah, we're writing quite a few like electro-y sort of 80s vibes sort of songs. And they're just ideas really, I think we completed one with Rob singing, and that's a really good song, which was mentioned the other day again for something. It was like, I forgot about that one. That was great, yeah. It's a cool tune. And then, there's a few more recent things for Rob's next record, which I don't know when that's coming out, do you know?
No.
I think it's next year. But I guess with the Netflix, and then there's the feature film and a record, it's just which order to do things. But obviously the Netflix is November, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's a week or two away. And then, then it's probably going to be the record maybe next year. See, I've got, written a couple of songs for that. So hopefully they
stay on the album.
Hopefully that's the thing, you just don't know. Someone will come in next week and go, I've written 10 amazing
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, oh, okay. So hopefully there'll be one or two on there, which I've co-written with
That'd be good.
Rob and Rob and Karl, yeah.
Right.
Look forward to that.
Yeah.
Hopefully that happens.
Yes, it will, I'm sure.
So outside of Rob, you're obviously in King Herd with Karl as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that. How did that come about?
That came about, Karl's always been banging on about making a rock band. He's like, I could make this really great super group with you and this person, that person. Like, when are we going to do that? Like, well, I probably have time. When are you going to do?
Yeah.
He's always talking about it. Then it got to the point where we had a few years where we didn't do much for obvious reasons. So we sat at home going, what are we going to do? And I've started writing with Rob, with his kind of stuff. And then Karl's like, we should put a band together. And with Dave, I don't know who this Dave is. I'm like, Dave who? Dave Taylor. Never heard of him. So anyway, I started speaking to Dave on the phone. I was like, yeah, okay, let's start writing. Karl wants to put this thing together. And I sent him some ideas. He sent me some ideas. And we're just doing it all over WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And I'd never done that before, but it's a really good way of working. Like, you can just be walking in the dark and just go, I've got this idea, just send it. Mm-hmm. And the little voice notes you can send back and forwards. Before you know it, you can create like, wow.
Right.
So we wrote a whole album pretty much just like that. And every time I was writing, because we was at home, there was no other distractions. So it was like a really, really pure sort of process for us. Like, all you could do is just walking in the woods with a dog or whatever, going out and just like getting into that sort of mode, coming back and just getting little ideas and just letting things come to you and just writing. I'd send them to Dave, then he'd send me the melodies back that he'd written on the night. And before you knew it, we had this album. I mean, like, this isn't shit, is it? This is good, isn't it? We're like, this is really good, isn't it? Yeah. So like playing it to people, everyone's singing them, you're singing the song I played yesterday. Oh my gosh, they're catchy and they're good and they're this, that, the other. So like, this is the case. It's going to be a good band. So we got, then we started going in the studio and just putting it all down and recorded the record, and then it kind of just went on from there. And it's ended up being, so far doing pretty well. But it's difficult to get gigs in with what we do. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
because if you're young,
busy.
if you're really young, we're like, if you're in your 20s, you just go off and tour in the back of a van around the country and all that kind of stuff. But we're all in the music business. We all have our sort of jobs. So that's like a little project that we do, but it's kind of grown bigger than maybe we thought it would do to start with. So now we're like, oh gosh, we need to sort of
carry it on.
Yeah. I've been writing the second record.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So who's Ray Loverock?
Ray Loverock.
Yeah, he's in the band as well.
He's just a very famous in Birmingham musician.
Right.
He's just like a mad scientist kind of guy. But he was in a band, this would have been in the late 90s. What's the name of the band? I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, he was in the band with like Adam's in Darnay's, Adam's in the Stereophonics now. Ray and Sam, they signed to Geffen Records in America in the 90s and went out, did all that. I think Geffen dropped the band after a while. I came back and then started a band. Karl was in that band. So
Right,
Karl's been in
okay.
bands with Ray.
Okay. And he obviously knew David as well.
And then they all knew Dave. I never knew Dave. And I've worked with Ray, like doing productions and stuff
Right.
in the like 2000s. We were doing different projects and just all like doing stuff together.
Yeah.
So we all knew each other, apart from me and Dave didn't know each other.
Okay.
Where did the name come from?
That's a good question. Not a very interesting answer though.
Oh,
We just decided to call it Herd, like a herd of, like a band of brothers type thing.
oh yeah.
Because we just couldn't think of anything, and it's so annoying. And you think, well, like Oasis, Blur, like the terrible names, but because because it's associated with that band, it becomes the thing. It's like if you say Blur,
Yeah.
Pulp. Oh, should we call the band Pulp? Oh, yeah, great idea. But it becomes that thing.
Yeah.
So we're like, it doesn't matter what we call it, really. We make the name of it. So Herd, okay. And then we discovered, like, in this day and age in the internet and all the rest of it, like, you can't really have a single word name because the search engines and the algorithms and all the rest of it. And there's also about 20 other bands called Herd.
Yeah.
So you've got to have like a bit more of a weird double thing. So our first single was under Herd, but then it kept like pulling in other bands' pictures, like the things like Amazon,
right, yeah.
because it was getting confused and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
So we were like, right, we've got to change the name of the band now. So we went round the houses just trying to put something before Herd, and we ended up with King. It was like, and now it just sounds.
Yeah, it sounds right, yeah.
Now it's like it's King Herd, but at the time it was like, what? King? No, I don't know. So yeah, it's not very interesting.
But you're enjoying it. That's the main thing.
I am. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, we've done some great gigs and stuff like that. And yeah, really enjoying it. Go check it out if you haven't already.
Yes.
People out there.
Yeah. Go and listen to King Herd's debut album.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called King Herd because we couldn't think of anything.
So, what's the best thing about working with Rob for you?
The best thing about working. Oh, it's interesting. What were the people said? What do you mean, like personally about Rob, or like just the general
Or professionally, or yeah.
I mean, obviously, you get to see the world, you get to travel. But being on stage really is just like that sort of chemistry. That I think the best thing really is that every time we go out to do the bow at the end, that's when I realise the kind of just like how many people are on the stage, how many people. Okay, how long is this line?
Yeah.
And I kind of think, and Rob, when he looks at us, when he turns around, I can see in his eyes he's just thinking, "Well, that was brilliant, well done, and you're all great."
Yeah.
And he does, before we go on, Rob's like, he gives some lovely words of advice, encouragement, or whatever, as like, as the group,
The huddle,
huddle. And he always says, it doesn't matter how many, like if you're really nervous or you're feeling tired or whatever you are, hungover, whatever it is, sick, whenever he says what he says, it's always like, okay, thanks. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh,
and you go out and you have a great gig, do what you have to do, and then that end bow, you're just like, we've just done that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like the Isle of Wight was cool. Doing a bow at the end of the Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
Just play the Isle of Wight with Robbie Williams. Okay, yeah, I get it now. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love those moments, and then I'd say those are the best moments.
Yeah. When we were at the Isle of Wight, that was epic.
Yeah, I loved it.
Stood for a long time at the front there to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you could rewind back to one moment in your career and relive it, what would you think it would be?
It would be that massive moment when we missed out of the career. Let's see if you can guess what it is. It just popped into my head because it is the one.
Oh, have we missed something out? Let me think.
Yeah.
We missed out. Oh. Good job we asked this question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Come
know.
on.
Is it to do with Rob?
Yeah.
It's got something to do with football.
No. Oh, there is that. There's two things.
I was going to say we haven't mentioned football.
Don't mention the football. No, we could mention the football. No, it's Vegas.
Oh, Vegas, of course. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
How did we forget Vegas?
We haven't
As
covered
well.
Vegas. Let's talk about Vegas.
So Vegas it's so weird because the gigs were tiny.
Yeah.
It's like the gigs were just maybe 1,000 people or something.
Yeah.
1,500, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think 1,500.
But it
yeah.
was like the coolest thing I've ever done because it's just like brilliant. There was no travelling involved, basically. Obviously, you've got to get there. But we're in the one place for the 3 or 4 weeks, whatever it was, we're there. So all the gear's set up, all the stuff's there. Every night's the same. So it was just a completely different experience to touring. We got there, we were all living together I think we got Airbnbs because it was cheaper than staying in the hotel, which made it better because we had like a car in the garage, 5 of us in a house. We had maybe 3 houses or something. 5 of us in a house, all living together. We get up in the morning, all your clothes in the same place. You can make it quite homely. We went shopping in the car, put a load of stuff in the fridge and beers. Got the kitchen. We were making food all the time, and then you just go, oh, time is it? Well, we need to get to work now. Get in the car, drive down the strip, which is every time you do it, just like this is okay. Just drive into the car park, come out, go into the gig, play the gig. Then you're like, oh, shall I go down the strip or shall I go home? Oh, I might go home. Go home, have a beer in the garden.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely brilliant.
Wow.
I loved it. I was like, I could do this. This is great.
Yeah. We certainly loved being there. Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
And the
So
the
good.
shows were like
Incredible.
really, really cool shows. Like they were different, obviously.
Yeah.
I think Rob maybe found himself a bit more there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so now he kind of incorporates, there's a lot of Vegas still in the show, like intertwined together. I think that Vegas show really kind of just, kind of showed him that different angle of approaching things.
Yeah.
And we did some really nice tunes, and Pete was there as well and
Yeah.
did his thing, which was we really look forward to every night, and got to play some different songs like what's the one where he wears the pink suit, the gay
Swings both ways, isn't it?
swings both ways.
Everybody,
Yeah.
swings both ways. Yeah.
Yeah, doing stuff like that was like
Yeah.
which we'd never really done. Well, I haven't,
Well, you
I haven't
hadn't,
done.
yeah.
I hadn't done it. Maybe they did it on the tour. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. And then all the dancers would come out in the the big
Feathery.
feather
type.
bow
Yeah.
things, that real like 1920s sort of stuff,
Yeah.
with champagne glasses and the crazy stuff. Like Mark Brown would do a song.
Oh yeah, that
singing
was
Copacabana.
Yeah, what was that all about?
Like, but every night we were just like, this is so bizarre.
Why was Mark the chosen one for that?
It was supposed to be Gary, but
Oh,
Gary's,
okay.
no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, no.
Oh.
Mark was like, I'll do it. But he does it. He does his comedy thing,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was good.
and
It
he
was-
sings in that. So but he's like a comedy. He's more like a comedy sort of
yeah,
cabaret sort of
Yeah.
working man's club type thing.
Yeah.
It was just funny. They just thought, is he gone? And that became, is he gone yet? And he just walk out like really nonchalant and just sing this song. It was like, but the crowd just, who's this fella now? So all that kind of stuff was really
Yeah.
funny. And what else happened in that? I love the first song in that. Every time we played that first song, didn't matter how many times we'd done it, I got really buzzed up by that.
yeah. I wish you'd released that.
Live in Las Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really good song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, every night we played that, I was like, right, this is great.
Yeah, when he come down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was it in the earthquake?
I was just about to say one night it was an earthquake. By the time we'd realised what was going on, it had stopped.
Oh, right.
It was like, I thought I was, I'm a bit dizzy. I don't know what's going on? And then I looked up and I saw him swinging. He's absolutely fine, Rob.
Yeah.
Stuff like that wouldn't faze him. He'd just be like, that was great. But there wasn't anyone out of the sort of the stage team who did anything. They're like, right, there's an earthquake, everyone, there was nothing. The next day, a few people got rollicking for like not doing like whoever's in charge should have
Right.
maybe said something basically.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, don't worry, I'll do this, I'll do that, or don't stay still, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of that. Everyone was just like, so that's it, nothing, just carry on. Okay. No. But there was this amazing energy that was created by that earthquake. It was
Right.
like in a thunderstorm, it's like huge energy created,
Yeah.
It was like that. It just carried on. It was like earthquake energy. I think there was maybe three earthquakes that day, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was one earlier on in the day, and then on the night there was a smaller one maybe.
Right.
Later. But yeah, it was brilliant. So that's where I would go back to. And we were supposed to go back there again, and we didn't.
Yeah,
Well, we
it's a
want the
shame.
show again, don't we, really?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe somewhere else, maybe not Vegas, but Vegas would be cool.
I guess there's other options, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows what's in the
Yeah.
future.
And what was your football story? We don't want to miss out on that one. Did you have a
Football story?
Do you have a football story?
No. No, I was going to say the other really cool thing was doing the World Cup,
Oh, yeah.
which I wouldn't rewind back to, but that was like a bit bonkers, especially because they were like, "Can you just run?" Someone's got a video of me doing it, actually, but the do you remember the opening of the World Cup? It was the Russia World Cup,
Yeah.
Yes.
18, I think.
2018, and we've played on that big thing in the middle with all these crazy,
Yeah.
God knows what it was. It was just like bonkers.
Dancers and all sorts, wasn't it?
And then what happens is they have to strip that all off within about 30 seconds or something like that,
Right.
or a minute. Whilst there's like, in England and all that, there's an advert break.
Yeah.
But then in a few countries, there was like the song Rock DJ.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't remember. Rob kind of comes towards the front to the cameras, and then they do a cut. They strip all that thing off the pitch.
Yeah.
But I was up the top. I had to run all the way down, so I wasn't in camera shot. So I run all the way across the pitch, but they'd already stripped it. Then I had to go off into the corner one side. Then they strip it. Then I'd have to run all the way down. Rob's already started singing Rock DJ at that point with the dancers. I'd run across the
With
thing.
your guitar?
Yeah, in a big black flappy cape, whatever I've got on, all the way down across the pitch with no one else on it. Rob's on the touchline, all the way across the little corner, so the cameras, and then I come across down the touchline and meet them for the solo, and we practiced it, and I'm like, yeah, I can get there. It was so Spinal Tap, it was brilliant. So I'm like, then I get there, and I've just got to wait for the guitar solo and kind of meld into the back and do this guitar solo. In the meantime, Rob's already done his middle finger thing, or whatever he did, which was great. And I was literally the only person on the pitch running across from one corner to the other corner with a guitar and a big black cape with like a full stadium of people. That was like the most mental thing ever. And my friend Dion Dublin was in the crowd. He was doing the commentary and he filmed me running across the pitch. So he's got this video of like just this empty pitch of me running a guitar across it. I was just oh God. I felt like I don't know what I felt like. It was weird.
But you made it.
Yeah, it's cool. There's like, it was in the papers and all that. The next
Well,
day.
because he stuck his finger up as well.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But in the sun and that, I think there was the huge like aerial sort of shot of the stage, and you could see us all on it, and
Yeah. It did look good, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
yeah. So that was the most bonkers moment probably.
And have you got a moment that you're most proud of?
Musical moment most proud of. I mean, yeah, I'd say like, so I was talking about my guitars, and I got my first electric guitar like when I was 13, and I still own that. I didn't play it for years because it was like, I think my dad bought it for me for about £75, something like that, in an old music shop, and it was in Birmingham, and it was an Ibanez Les Paul copy. It was like 1976. They're not really worth a lot of money particularly, but yeah, we bought it for like 75 quid at the time, which is really, really cheap for a guitar.
Right.
But I played that at the O2 in the round and Wembley Stadium.
Oh, right.
On top of the head flame thing.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't tell my dad.
Wow.
Because I hadn't used it up to that point for years and years. It was just this old battered guitar. But I got the techs, the guitar techs to spruce it up and make it play nice.
Yeah.
And I still use it now. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So I used it at the O2 and on top of the flaming head thing. Our dad came and was like, was that the guitar? I'm like, yeah. And he was like really chuffed that I'd played this guitar, but like my first electric at Wembley
nice.
Stadium.
Yeah.
Which was probably like the sort of proudest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd also hear my daughter sing on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I say sing. I mean, my amazing editing. No, yeah, it was really beautiful to hear her little voice coming across the BBC radio too.
And do you have a favourite show or concert? Obviously, you've mentioned couple.
It's difficult because they're all different. But I said the O2 in the round.
Yeah.
For that kind of that was just something different and crazy. And the Vegas shows. What else has kind of been?
Well, for us, we always say the under the radar gig when you're in your pajamas.
How was under the radar for you in the round?
Well, you might have noticed I was wearing glasses. No, you didn't.
No, I don't remember that.
I don't remember that. No,
they were the rimless ones. You probably didn't say.
Right.
Because I was reading a lot of stuff off the floor. Because we were rehearsing the Christmas record,
of course,
and like all of that, and I can't remember what else. We're doing like there's about 60 songs were like being rehearsed at the same time, and the under the radar gigs were like it's one gig, right? Let's just write a few notes, like learn the majority of it, and then get into certain. So it's just kind of like. It was a bit flying by the seat of your pants.
We didn't notice that. It's obviously
we made one obvious mistake. I think I think it might have been. Yes, I think Rob might have stopped the song, started again.
He did. Yeah.
He did mess up Raver, but he just got the lyrics wrong. I didn't think the music got messed up.
It was the start of a song that he nearly started and then restarted. I
don't know, but it was easy to do stuff like Raver because I played the guitar on that.
Yeah,
so the Under the Radar record didn't come with a sleeve note.
Oh, so we didn't know that you played on it.
So I don't even know, but I do know. If you know what I mean. There's no sleeve. That was kind of just card. Yeah. And then I played on like Bully. That was me. Raver. Not Into the Silence. Maybe Into the Silence a little bit. And then Green Light.
Oh.
So, but not all of the guitar, but like the majority. I played on it. I think those are the few. But then because I noticed this the other day, because I picked up that Under the Radar 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one with the green cover, like a green tree one?
Yeah.
And I wanted to look at the notes. Because I've got on my CDs, and I love the notes. And all that. And so I get the notes out. And then I realised that the top was like little postcards I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
What are these? It's like a nice collection of postcards. So the first one had nothing in. This one's got like postcards and booklets. And like quite posh.
But you can hardly read the credits because they're so small.
Yeah, that's the problem when you're printing these things. You need a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
But yeah, the credits in there. See, there's an error there because Tim and Flynn forgot to tell them that I played on one of the songs.
What, on Under the Radar 2? Oh, which one was it?
It's just to set the record straight there.
Yeah.
Run It Wild.
Oh.
So
there we go.
I'm definitely on there.
Okay.
So I was like, Tim was like, no, mate, no, it wasn't. I did the guitar. So it's about 5 years ago, and I do remember, and I can hear my guitar in there. And I was like, I'm sorry now, I put it in. I was like, yeah. But I'm a stickler for the
setting the record straight.
Figures. But yeah, I played on that one, and it's quite a good song. What's the second song on that?
Well, it's Satellites, and then it's what's the second one?
Miss Pepper.
Oh, Miss Pepper. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, I got my notes. Yeah, Miss Pepper. I think I played that. That was a really good one.
Yeah.
There's so many good songs on those records.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really listen too much on the third one. I don't know why that was, but I think I was doing something else.
Right.
You know what I mean? When it came out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I even have that on the record.
We need another Under the Radar show. So if you can,
albums.
Has there been 3 so far?
3 records so far.
3, but we need another gig. Under the Radar. The fans really love the gig.
Yeah.
It's too much hard work for you, though.
No.
Hard work.
No, it was brilliant. I loved it. I thought it was really good. It was refreshing because we didn't play. Obviously, Angels. There was loads of tunes that we'd listened to. Oh, that's great. That like Raver. But I was just upset we didn't do Bully.
Yeah.
But I thought about
Next
Bully.
time.
I really like that one.
Yeah. And have you got a favourite Robbie song?
Yes.
What is it?
Not going to say. I thought that was the question. Yeah, thanks. No, it's Feel.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people say Feel.
Yeah.
Because it's a really beautiful song generally, like the chords, and all the way that the music works and sounds, but the actual lyrics, I think, are very, very good. Rob's an amazing lyricist. Like I didn't really kind of realise so much until I sort of joined the band, really, how good he is at lyrics. That's some amazing stuff, you know. Just that line on that. I don't want to die, but I ain't keen on living either.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Amazing.
Yeah. And is that your favourite one to perform live as well, or have you got a particular
It is,
live
yeah.
favourite? Yeah.
Well, it's one of them.
Yeah.
I get to do like a Dave Gilmour thing on it, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I made the slide part just like, I kept making it like bigger and bigger into this like Pink Floyd thing, and no one told me to stop, so I was like, but in a stadium with large arenas, the slide guitar sound is really cool.
Yeah.
You do that Pink Floyd sort of thing with it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I love doing that. And it varies each night. Sometimes I'm like, it's a nuance with the slide thing. Occasionally I can't. It's like it niggles at me, so I don't enjoy it so much. I'm like, I just want to get it just the way I'm hearing it. But then some nights, there's something with the air with that, the way it kind of relates. Depends how hot it is and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's, you know, all these kind of airwavy things.
Right.
And sometimes it just happens and it just sounds beautiful. And the lasers, depends if the lasers are working as well,
Yeah.
really nicely and beautifully. And you look at it and you go, great. Yeah, I love performing that. And then Come Undone's always fun because we get to go and
Get to
do
come
the guitar
forward.
solo stuff.
I like that bit.
Yeah. What else do I enjoy playing? But the whole show is great, you know.
Yeah.
The opening of the show is really fun, the current show. Doing Hey Wow,
Yeah.
which is,
Different.
yeah, it's a bit different. Fun
It's a
to play.
great start to the
Yeah.
show. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
So clever, starting with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love playing No Regrets as well. That's a brilliant tune. I love the dynamics in that, the way it builds. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
It's been really cool to hear your journey with Rob.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing what happens next and hearing some more of your songs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Will.
hopefully, yes.
Hopefully they'll be on the album.
Yeah.
And hopefully we don't have to wait too long for the album as well.
Well,
No, yeah, I can't answer that for you.
Obviously you can't answer
The
that.
person
no.
for that would have been Chris Briggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the A&R. That's out of my hands now. I've done my bit, and that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
it. I'm like,
Yeah.
nothing to do with me from now on.
No.
But yeah, hopefully it'll come out soon. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I've basically heard the whole record, and it's very good.
Excellent.
excellent.
That's what we like to hear.
I'm like, oh, this is really good. Like, wow, this is cool. Like, really cool record. It's to me, it's almost like a bit. It's not like it's an under the radar, but it's got that. It's a bit more cool. I like
okay.
they're kind of
Yeah.
a bit cooler.
Yeah.
It's sort of a really, really cool record.
Oh, well, that makes us very excited.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, thank you for joining us on the podcast.
Yep.
It's been a great
You're welcome.
chat.
No, it's been good fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll see you on the road.
Some
at some
happy
point.
memories.
Yes.
May there be many more.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much. See you, mate.
Robbie Williams Rewind.